Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Behind the Scenes podcast, episode 6, The Alchemist's Process. So, today is going to be an absolute pure transmission. It's going to be me absolutely being in my alchemist's process. There's so many things I want to talk to that I want to speak to. But let me first introduce myself if there is someone new joining. My name is Sara. I call myself an alchemist because I can alchemize anything. I alchemize negativity into positivity. Negative energy. I take the imprints of the past, the traumas, and I turn them into creativity. That's what I do. And I combine that process with high skilled energetics. So that is my gift, to see energy, to be able to have so what I have is the patience to observe. That is my core genius. That is my ability to be still and observe long enough. And I've been observing since I was born. And now at 48 years old, I realize, oh, I'm good at this. I'm very good at that. So I combine those two skills. So my ability is to walk into a situation and see what is actually going on. And I just came from the most interesting experience. And that is why this is becoming a pure transmission, because so there's so many things I want to speak to. So this is where my creativity gets it's like the different items are fighting with each other. It's like I have unruly children. Like, I want to go first. No, I want to go first. I want to go first. And I realized, like, that's why I speak fast, because the things that want to come out of me is yelling at me, and they are fighting inside. So the slowing down is the key, and just realizing that grounding will always be the way, and that, it gets stormy, and then I can calm the boat. So that's what I'm doing now. So when it gets too much, I also get blackouts. That's why I'm doing these live streams. That's why I'm doing the 108 days of internal alchemy. That's why I did the first 108 days. So I'm here to train myself to be a very prominent public speaker, because I have things to say, and I need to be able to do that in a way that is received in the way that I want it to be received. So I'm still here learning and practicing. So I'm building myself up with my own principles. So I'm here to embody the alchemy process and the energetics, and I'm here to do extraordinary things. So what I do is that I generate abundance in any shape or form through the life force and the creativity. And from there, something extraordinary happens. So let's begin this day by sharing what I experienced. So I have had the most amazing opportunity coming up to me. Many years ago, we came in contact with a forest monk here in Thailand. His name is Tyler. He was a forest monk here for 7 years, and he was teaching a lot. And we had a client coming for a month, wanting to work through his relationship with death. So he was losing people around him, and he realized, I have no connection to death, and this is affecting my life at a point where it's affecting my career. He's a very, very successful. And then we invited this monk, Tyler, and we had a meeting that was very strong. And that meeting just stayed with me. And then I started to go to Tyler's different things. And we were very happy about that relationship. So we were very disappointed when he decided to derobe. When you leave, you're no longer a monk and you return to ordinary life. And he left Thailand. And we were like, wow, that was unexpected and very sad. So last week, so we kept in contact a little bit, which is very nice. And last week he made a Facebook post offering his meditation circle. And he had very strong requirements. It was like a post where so he did one circle. And I guess this is where he was setting up his boundaries, which I like very much. So I know he's highly skilled, right? And then he has requirements. And so I immediately reached out and said, what is this? What's happening? I met the requirements, and today was our first session. That was absolutely extraordinary. It's like I listened with my body, I listened with my field, I listened with energy. I was the only one who showed up. I know he had other people who had committed, but I was the only one showed up. And that is crazy. We have one of the most skilled forest monks who actually teaches meditation. One might think that Buddhist monks meditate all day. They don't. It's actually rare to find monks that are good at meditation. I kid you not. Even my Thai, I think he's from Nepal. We have another friend monk. It's incredible. We have friends that are monks. It's incredible. They say the same thing, that people don't meditate. The monks don't meditate. Anyway, the amount of heart energy that was transmitted from Tyler, it was, I don't even know how to describe it, because I started to feel energy, and then my heart just started to expand. And then, so I was sitting right here, and I was sitting like this, and my heart was just pounding out of my chest. And it started to help me alchemize, because today has also triggered the crap out of me. So I didn't know if I was going to call this episode Walk with My Chest, because I'm embodying some sort of, I'm going deeper into the thyroid issues and looking into the energetics of the thyroid. And I'm just blown away. So I'm having the hugest revelation this morning about how I'm not walking with my chest, and how I haven't been putting up my own value and self-worth and standards. And that's actually what the thyroid is all about. Why is this happening to me? It's like, when is it my turn? It's like knowing that it's supposed to be a certain way, but we build up some idea that it's about ourselves. So by now you should realize that it's the challenges that really propels us forward. So when you can learn to alchemize that, then there's nothing that can stop you. It's like you can walk into any conversation and you can literally see exactly what's been going on. So I went from that experience with the meditation with Tyler, and I could bring in the piercing through my heart of anger that I experienced this morning, where someone was not honoring the boundaries and the agreement that we had made, which just pissed me off so much. But I could handle it I was walking with my chest. I was like, not on my time. Like, not on my time. And that's where this whole walking with my chest came from. And I started to make the connection with the thyroid. So that I did that, and then I could alchemize that like crazy. in the meditation with Tyler, because what the so the Buddhism is, I need to bring in the Buddhism much more clear. So I have now 3 representations. So this is the monk who built the Doi Sutep, who is the most prominent temple here. So this ended up in my possession in a very interesting way. So I wear this. This is the cross, represents Christ consciousness, and for me that represents the heart and walking with Jesus, but also it's the 100% masculine and the 100% feminine. It's the love, it's the love, the heart, and it's the personal power and truth. I mean, that's Jesus. And then we have the pearl that represents God. So I need to bring in Buddha more and really share what that represents, because the silence and the meditation and the observation is my gift. And the level of compassion that is the true transmission of the Buddha, that just came right through Tyler. And I was just hit in the chest with that. I knew that, okay, this is going to be something. But I mean, I come with 0 expectations. And I was able to alchemize this because I'm the one who hasn't been setting up the standards. And this is the alchemy to stop blaming other people for what they are doing to me when I'm not the one who's setting my standards. So my initial boundary, because anger is it's there to keep a boundary, but the boundary, the mistake that people are making, they believe that the boundary is outside when the actual boundary is inside, because I'm not the one who's holding my standards. So I started to become very clear with my standards. And for me, it's about my time. I need my time to be respected. And it wasn't. So now I will not put myself in that position. I will manage my own time until my time is respected. Then I will come back. So I remove myself when the standards are not being met. But I'm the one who kept, not removing myself when my standards weren't met, and hence the anger. You have to teach people how to treat you. I have to teach people how to treat me. And I had been sloppy with that. So it really pissed me off. But when I could meet Tyler, he showed me where everything belonged. Like, this is my energy, this is my anger. Okay, that energy is the other person. And if they don't know that that's how they are affecting others, I have to make sure that I'm taken care of in this relationship. So I will remove myself and then reapply myself from another position. So everything is like a negotiation. It's always energy balance. And if it's not balanced, then we have to adjust the balance. So Tyler helped me adjust that balance on so many levels. And I just can't believe that there's no one else in this Zoom room with me. So I have to promote Tyler. I mean, it's like donation based. He's back in Taiwan. He's, he has like, he went to university and studied to become a farmer. He's like, he's the person that the commercial will never find. And he's willing to be of service. That has to change. So I have to do a little bit of promotion for Tyler. So I'm signing up for an 8-week course. So he only needs one committed student to perform, and I've committed. So I'm going to be there. And when one person commits, he allows people to drop in, but only if you have one person. So he's standing up for his. He's walking with his chest and like, because this is like I mean, it's just so skilled. This is like you don't get access to these people. You don't get access to monks like this. The fact that he derobed and is sitting in some farmland in Taiwan offering his services, but no one knows he exists, is crazy. We have to do something about that. So I'm going to post. So if you're watching this and you want to meditate with Tyler, let me know. I'll hook you up. No, but that was extraordinary. And then I went straight. I was even interrupted by the person that I'm arguing with my time with in the middle of knock, knock, knock inside the room. So I had to open and communicate when I was sitting with a forest monk and meditating. And I didn't get angry. I was just love and compassion. And I was on fire. My heart was beating. If that, I always, if you know me, because the people who are watching, this in the beginning is going to be the people who know me. I love to use the fire heart emoji. And I was like, that's the fire heart emoji. My heart is on fire and it's burning something. It's burning a part of me that is not me. And I've been processing this awful energy of the past. And this morning I just asked and said, let's just clear this once and for all today. And boy, that has been cleared, because the fire heart emojis that Tyler was sending me, it was like, and it was just compassion. And there is extraordinary. Now it says my connection is unstable. Well, I'm at the correct. Let's see what happens. So it really taught me to allow the judgments and the anger, and it gave me a fire. The Buddha is so gentle, and he offers the silence, and the silence just burns everything to the ground. It just dissolves into the silence. The level of profoundness inside of the Buddhist teachings, incredible. It's pure consciousness, and it's completely aligned with truth and love. And every time I go to, because I come in contact with a lot of monks, and every time they meet me, they look at what I'm wearing. And I didn't wear the pearl, but this is the God representation. So now I thought this was God, but this is Jesus, and this is the Buddha, and this is God. And they look and they say, Jesus, Buddha's friend. Everyone, friend, same. Like two guys walking the earth, together, sharing the suffering, and the I see what you do. Go, or su, as you say in Thailand. That means fight, like hang in there. I just see they go, su. Hang in there. It'll be better later at some point. We're making an impact here. There's just, and the Buddha just invites this, it's just going to be all right, if you just allow it to burn, it's going to be all right. And then you look over there, you look at Jesus, and he's on the cross, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, he showed me how to, be a human and take your suffering, and it's going to be all right. It's and that's where the God comes in, that that it's going to be all right. So there's it's like it's just such an interesting contrast, these two. It's like held by the God frequency. So in the Buddhism, there's a saying called the three jewels. I take refuge in the three jewels. So this is just so powerful for me. I just feel the emotion come through the heart. So there's something about this. It's the refuge because, yeah, that's what it is. Because up until then, I thought that there was no refuge, that there was no real way to kind of calm the hurt, And then when you find it, it's just very nice when it's been a long time coming. So when you find someone who put it into words like that and makes it, it's like and then I offer this advice to one of the women who is working with me, because it's the truth and it's an actual refuge. So the three jewels of refuge is the Buddha. So the Buddha represents the teachings, but it could be Jesus, it could be the Quran. It doesn't matter what you believe in. So the Buddha represents the teacher. So it can be your it can be your third grade teacher. You take refuge in the teacher. There's something about that just explodes my heart, that you take refuge in the teacher. Because the teacher you take refuge in the teacher because the teacher is the embodiment of what is possible. It's the embodiment. It's the living proof of something, whatever that represents for you. And this is what the Buddhist is just, they're so open. They just, you apply anything. They're just, the Buddha is just open. Take my teaching and apply anything to it. I don't mind. I'm not going to tell you that you're doing anything wrong. There's just, I come from also the tech world, and there's something in the tech world you can call open source, which is code that you share for anyone to access. And I just feel that's what it comes from, the silence and the open source. It's just, you just give freely, there's just nothing in return. It's extraordinary. It's an extraordinary energy. It wants nothing in return. It only gives. And the Buddha then is the physical embodiment of that practice. And I mean, he kind of did that, And Jesus, the physical embodiment of the teachings of Christ. I take refuge in Christ himself. How powerful is that? I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Christ. They offer their refuge. He's offering his refuge. So that is my teacher. And that is what I want to offer to my people. Take refuge in whatever I represent for you. And I already have a lot of my long-term students has all shared that in the beginning they worked with me, but then they didn't need my physical. So I work with people to set them free. I want to shorten the process as much as possible. Stay with me as long as you want to, but not because you have to, because I don't set you free. I'm here to set you free as quickly as possible so you don't need me. And then people say that they just call my energy in, and that's enough. And that's when you know that you're building something that people can just call in, and it's enough. And that's what the Buddha does, and that's what Christ does. So I take refuge in the Buddha. That's the first jewel. Thank you. That's a jewel, gemstone. I mean, it's so valuable. And the second one is I take refuge in the Dharma, in the Dhamma, in the teachings of the teacher. So then it's the teachings of Buddhism that it represents here, or the teachings of Christ, or the teachings of the Quran, or the teachings of my favorite third grade teacher, the teachings of that teacher, or any person that is in front of you, who you feel is your teacher. So I haven't had a teacher in a while, but Tyler is definitely my teacher now. So I take refuge in the teacher. I take refuge in the teachings. So the teachings is the practices. So for me, that is the internal alchemy. That is what I'm offering. So the question that came from one of my women was, am I creating an unhealthy habit of this? Is this, am I hiding in the teachings? And that's when I presented the 3 jewels. Like, no, it's your refuge. Your body is guiding you that this is what it wants. So my body is guiding me to Tyler because there's a balance in me that I was intuitively looking for, and from today's session I know that was, and it's the love and the compassion and the silence and just calming down of everything, and really, I mean, it's just God connection. That's just pure consciousness, pure life connection. It's fantastic. So when I feel bad, I go to my practice. So I take refuge in my practice. So I take refuge in the alchemy. So I know how to alchemize negative emotions, negative energy, other people's energy, whatever you want to alchemize. That's what I've learned. So the energetics is my gift. The alchemy I've freaking learned. It's taken me 10 years. And I'm just getting started. So it's just going to go quicker and quicker. Maybe you just need to look at me or just bring me in, and that's going to help you alchemize. Let's do that. Wouldn't that be, when people ask you if you could have a superpower, what would that be? Yeah, to, be the person where your alchemy process speeded up so quickly that you get to abundance very fast. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? So no, you can't overdo it if you come from the pure intention. If you're hiding from doing the work, if you're hiding from looking at yourself, yeah, then it's not a refuge. But in the alchemy, you face yourself. So there's nothing to hide from, because you're not you're not hiding. You're walking into the mirror, looking at yourself, and allow yourself to burn. And I take refuge in these 3 when I burn, because this guy, he showed how to burn. So if I look what I'm going through, I just look over there at him and go like, okay, I think I can manage. I'll be fine. So maybe I go to this guy instead, and he says, just, and I go, yeah, it's gonna be. And then I go to this guy, and then I go, oh yeah. No, I don't hide in my teachings, or no, it's the opposite. I find it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the silence. It's the faith, the truth, and the love. So if God, Jesus is love, it's the silence. What is it? I lost it. And the faith. It's like it's the truth. That's what it represents. So it's no hiding when you go to the truth. And then the third jewel is the community of the teacher. So the students, the other students. That's you take refuge in the other students, because there's always going to be one in there that remembers the truth. So it's an easy access to the teachings without doing the practice, to stay in a frequency, because that's what it is. It's a frequency. It's an atmosphere. It's a way of living. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of being. And the world is always going to mirror yourself back to you. And at some point, you're going to get tired of walking into people who are, not working on what you are working. So then you take refuge in the other students. And I have the most extraordinary experience, because in my current mastermind, they all know each other. So I'm working with a friends group, which is extraordinary. And they are all, signing up for long-term containers. They come here to visit, to live with us, sign up for 6 months, year-long containers, the next mastermind and the next one even. I mean, they committed for a year. And they're all friends. Can you just realize how strong? They won't need me, they're going to alchemize their way, The only reason they're going to stay with me is because they're going to see how far I'm rising. And I'm like, I'm going to hang on to this balloon because it's a free ride, That's what my energy does. So I'm just blown away by everything and how it works. And then from this incredible meditation, where I was interrupted twice. The first time I refused to respond. Second time I responded. What I said was, you already knew I would do that. They are here now. You already know that I'm not joining until 2. And then I closed my eyes. Yeah, there's something about that just gets to me. So I was deeply triggered today. And then I walk into a meeting with one of the most exciting opportunities that I've, put my eyes on in a very long time. And there was so much energy going on that it was crazy. And anyone else would have said, this is a disaster. But no, because I could see this person has this going on. This person has this going on. This person has this going on. And here is the actual thing that is completely undestroyed, unharmed. This golden thing that is on the table for anyone to grab, where there's a layer of energies that has nothing to do with this. But anyone else would have been caught in whatever else was going on. But didn't take me long to realize what it was. And okay, what is being asked of me? What? And it's the trust. It's the absolute trust. And there's like, how to explain it? There's this thing is on the table. It's not a physical thing because it doesn't exist, but it's like it has. Let's pretend there's a rock. So it's gold. That's where it is. It's a gold bar or something made out of gold. And you look at it and then you just see the gold, right? You just see like, oh, this is an excellent opportunity. So you just see the material thing, the possibility. And then you get confused by the energies around. But if you keep your focus on the thing and you know the difference between intention and impact. So if you can separate those things, and if you can separate energy, you can look at what it is, then you see that there's what's the so if you only look at in the 3D world, what's going on in the 3D, then you only have half of the information. So when I start to look at, okay, I need to look at this from a different view. So I connect, and this is the gift from Tyler. I was already there, because the heart, the silence, and when the heart is steady, it just sees through all the bullshit. It sees through all the illusions of the world. And then you can see what is actually going on. And then it's almost like this golden bar. It has a dancing energy. It's like a golden, it's like multiple, it's like God consciousness. When God consciousness is illustrated, it's like golden flakes, golden particles in the air. And when you see these images of the Buddha, he has an aura, like a halo behind, and that's just condensed God consciousness in and around his head. So you see this dancing energy, and then you can start to communicate with that energy. Like, what is the intention here? So the impact is from the illusions and everything that is going on energetically with the humans sitting around the table. And then you have the actual opportunity that is alive. So I started to connect with that instead. So I started to, because the energies was just completely out of sync. So I had to push everything to create a harmony in the room. So I did that. I removed myself a little bit, looked at the energy, and then I came back. I was just in the room. It's like how I navigated in the room. And I realized that it's just the trust. And there's a certain way to do things in Thailand. And that is the way that I've been doing things in Thailand since I started. So I realized, like, okay, we follow the energy. So the energy says, come, just follow. I'll show you. I'll teach you. Just follow and we'll go. And I said, okay, we just follow. Because you can stop at any time. You don't commit. When you just follow, you can always turn around. But that's not what I'm being invited to. I'm being invited to follow. It's like I'm in the forest, and the forest is dark, and I'm like, wow, this is this really the right choice? And then there's a little fairy that comes, or like a little light thing that says, I'll show you the way. Come, we just go. And that's the distinction, when you can feel an intention and you trust that intention. So it's trusting something that is bigger than yourself, that maybe has, a level of intelligence that is very impressive. And that's just incredible. So what did feel like impossible to organize around in the 3D with the energetics that I walked into, what happened was, because of that energy, that we had to that we didn't get to the thing, we just couldn't find when you try and it just doesn't, we're not moving forward here. what is going on. And because of that, something else arose that we were destined to look at. Because if we wouldn't, that would have been creating problems down the road. So because the energy wasn't straightforward, it took us to where we had to go. And it will solve many of our, when things are unanswered. Sometimes you have these bubbles of things that are going on in your life that you are a bit unclear of. So you kind of park it there and you wait for more information. At least that's what I do. If there's not a clear yes or no, then I park it. If I don't have yes or no, then God is telling me not yet. Then I just park it. I don't overthink it. I don't do anything. So there's a bunch of situations that is connected to whatever we've been through that kind of needs to be resolved. And they kind of need to show us where they are at, and things like that. So this whole situation will pull everything together, and everything is going to be revealed in one single thing. And that's when you start to quantum, when you see that one stone, many birds. I mean, it's not about killing birds. That is an awful quote. I like referencing different quotes because they show energetic laws. So yeah, when one thing multiplies, that's when it multiplies. That's when you know that one thing, when it multiplies, that's when you know that you are onto something. So I was just observing what was going on, and I didn't get emotionally involved. And that's when you know that you can start to see energy, because you're not emotionally involved with what's happening. Wow, someone is very agitated. Someone is just not in the room, and the third person doesn't know what's happening. And like, I'm the one with the least information, and but I don't take that personal. I didn't say like, wow, you are this or that, you are that or that. If you don't judge what's happening, if you only look at what's happening, then you can start to see what's actually happening, because everything else is just people's reactions. But if you understand why they have the reaction, because you can actually tune into them and say, okay, this one is actually sad, not angry, sad. And the other one is also sad, or maybe a little bit angry. And the third one was just confused. But if I would stick my head into that beehive and go with his anger, or that one's disconnectedness, or the third one's confusion, that wouldn't bring anything to the table. That would be a catastrophe. But if you don't apply any opinions about what's going on, and guess what? Where does the opinion come from? I'll give you 3 seconds. Oh, you see that I blame okay, that was 3. The mind. Who's good with mind things? Okay, both apparently. It's like his and hers, when it's like, who's the organized one? You show, me or my husband. Okay, so the Buddha guy, he's good with the mind things. And when you activate the heart, the mind is just. So I walked into that situation armed to my teeth. And Tyler gave me that, because I had already alchemized. So the whatever interaction, the interruption was a gift. the best gift. So challenges are, they're not happening to you. You're not a victim. If we can look what they bring, because they are a course direction. We're playing pool. That's God's ways of kicking you in the ass. And now I'm gonna receive emails saying that so what you're saying that, no, I'm not going to receive any emails, because everyone who's watching this is phenomenal and are into these things. Okay, so let's not manifest that. So I'm not going to receive any complaints about that. The challenges are real, the suffering is real, but if you're going to allow yourself to be drowned in the suffering, you're not going to help anyone. If you're going to jump in there with the people who are suffering, then that's just not gonna that's not, you have to have someone on the shore looking like it's that is doable. I take refuge in the teacher, who's the embodiment of the teachings, showing me that it actually can be done. Because when I'm drowning in in my own suffering, I can't laugh about it, and you shouldn't, and you're not supposed to either. This is a saying that humans are taking serious what the gods take as fun. And that can sound very harsh, but it's when you understand the dynamics of the good and the bad, and the yin and the yang, and how this world is constructed. And you realize that when you start to alchemize yourself from the inside, you become a little, the rising is that you raise your frequency, and then your life just tags along. It just gets better. But sometimes we have to go through really hard things to learn that. And when you ask the question, what is suffering, why is it necessary, the response is always, you can't be something that you don't know, don't know that you're not. So in order to be love, you have to know what love is not. How can I know what love is if I don't learn what it's not? So it's the contrasts, or the polarity, that is the core of this planet. And the level of suffering that you are able to hold, or that is also the level of abundance that you are capable of holding in this lifetime. So they are connected. So the level of hurt, that's why I know that my second part of my life will look nothing like the first part, because it's the law of the balance, and I'm doing the work. So it's inevitable. And why do I believe that? Because these three guys says so. So I take refuge in the teacher, in the teachings, and the students. And I also know that we are here to innovate. The feminine energy is innovation, and that is truly my energy. Because if I can't be in anything that is stagnant, that it's we create this thing, and then it's going to stay for this forever, and then we just stay there. That's like my nightmare. I can't. You see, I start moving around. Oh God, that's like cage. There's no freedom in that. It's always innovating. It's always moving. It's always transforming, always growing. And mankind is about to innovate. If you look at how much suffering do we have on this planet right now, I mean, suffering, there's been a lot of suffering on this planet for a very long time. But lately things have been, people have been taking it to the next level. And at first glance, you can think that that is a negative thing, but I look what's beyond that. If so I talk to the people that work with me a lot about these things, like the concept no mud, no lotus. I talk about all these things in the first 108 days of internal alchemy. So if you like who I am and you enjoy what I say and you want to know how did she become like this, because I'm creating myself. Both the 108 days of internal alchemy is only designed for me to pop like a cherry, being born. I create myself. I know exactly how I need to set myself up energetically, because it's the pressure, it's the negative pressure that creates the diamond. That's how it is. So I just need to apply the exact amount of pressure. I direct instead of, because I learned how challenges work now. So if I put myself up for a challenge and then I can direct it straight there. Chunk. So I'm doing this to activate my own voice, my own energy, my public ski. Apparently not yet. Public speaking. No, but it's not even about that. There's no perfectionism. I just want to be myself, and I'm not here to perform. I'm just not gonna. I'm just gonna be myself, and I'm not gonna. I am 100% masculine, 100% feminine. Sometimes I'm hard, sometimes I'm soft, sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that. Just gonna roll with it, and that's what I teach. Be yourself, and I've never followed anyone who's a stereotype. I mean, I follow characters, and we're all characters. So why not just be the character that I am, and not worry about it. Oh, there's so much worry, everything, everywhere. I've been so worried about moving through life. It's just, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just laying it all down. There's just no room for it. It's more fun with miracles and good times. Duh. But it's not that easy. Okay. 53 minutes. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, because I just came straight from that meeting. I left that meeting when there was like 9 minutes left, and I had to get up here, set it up, and I was like, I'm so unprepared. And then I'm like, but that's perfect. That's when you shine the best. So what is this about? I don't know. I'll let AI do a summary. What is this about? This, and there's just no problem. Choose a title. The frequency is here. It's not about the title. The frequency is going to find the right person who needs to hear this. And that's the trust. So when I activate the voice of myself, the voice takes care, my frequency takes care of it for me, because the world will always mirror back my frequency. And my frequency used to be, I need to heal because I don't want to be, I need to find myself. And then when you do that, then you just are that. There's just nothing more to it. If we overthink it, then we're performing. So I just want to be and open up my body and be happy and have a good time, and just, teach other people to do the same. And as a reward, my body is opening up. I'm getting healthier. I get more energy. I get younger. My people are starting to report back that they are getting younger. Maybe that's my elixir. The young. Wouldn't that be something? Friday, I have nothing else. Oh yeah, I haven't done the 108 days yet. I don't think. Oh, it's one of those days. No, I haven't. So I'm going to do the 108 days. That's going to be good. It's going to solid my. Maybe I call this the three jewels because I need to talk about this properly somewhere. So then I can refer back to this episode as the three jewels. That makes sense. The three, yeah. The three jewels, multi-dimensional jewels. That's interesting because that was what my episode today at the 108 days was gonna be, the three jewels. But maybe it will be walking with my chest because we're gonna do the breath of life. So I'm gonna circle back to my environment a little bit and then I'll come back for the 108 days. If you want to work with me, I have Miracle Season is here until the 108 days are done. Working with me is available at a certain level and point and price point. After the 108 days, that is completely going to change. The mastermind is where you belong. We begin. So I got a little bit. You see, I was giggling a little bit about my own confidence there. But we begin August 26th. So the mastermind is incredible, absolutely incredible. Expect extraordinary transformation. It's only $111 a month, and that's not going to be the same next time. So join, have fun, transform. And it's the combination of the energetics and the alchemy. That's the mastermind. You get two in one. And you get the teacher, you get the teachings, and you get the students because it's a group journey. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's the... I'm just getting so many ideas. Okay, this is the episode of the three jewels. Have a beautiful day. And please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. What else? Something else that slipped my mind. Doesn't matter. I love you. I see you next week. And that's it. I wish you all the best. Have a good weekend and bye.